everyone, and welcome to episode number 2 of my Minecraft Let's Build series. And in this episode, we are going to be going over some gardening work. So, in the last episode, we went over how to build a rustic house design, or just a rustic building. And I also added this pathway out of episode just to connect it up because I thought it was needed. I might get rid of it. This world, as well as this is a world of just me trying to explaining how to build things. It is as much as me learning and just testing out things just on video, going through my thought process. And that's like the whole deal with the leaves in the last episode. I completely got rid of them after the last episode just because I was like, that was a horrible idea. But anyways, as you probably can tell from the title, I'm going to be doing some gardening work to this just to make it blend into the, what's the word? I can't think of the word, terrain. Just to make it blend in more with the terrain, and there is no terrain around here. So how we're going to use to do this is we're going to use, we're going to use the leaves. You need lots upon lots of leaves, and I don't know where to find that. If you don't have access to jungle leaves, I would suggest using oak leaves, but if you do have access to jungle leaves, I would definitely suggest them. What you're also going to need, you're going to need some water, and this is very, very important. And then you're going to need some sort of barrier block to surround it. So stone slabs is a good one. I've used glass panes, fences, but in this episode I'm going to be using jungle leaves. And you want to add some color to it, so obviously you need flowers, and also you want to get some bone meal. I'll show you what you need to do with that in a second. But you want some flowers just to add color, and I would suggest being persistent. So I would suggest getting some of the taller flowers. I would suggest the rose bush and a peony, using those. Then some of the tulips. I would suggest an orange tulip, a pink tulip, allium, no, I don't know, and blue orchid. I wouldn't suggest using the default dandelion and poppies, just because their texture is kind of worn out too much. So what you want to do, first off, is you want to create a surrounding border around your garden. And like I said, you can use this with stone half slabs, fences, and in my case, leaves, any types of leaves. I'm using jungle just because I feel like they're the type of leaves that look the most lush. And if you're ever trying to add just like the green color, just the color green to anything, then you most certainly want to do this. And leaves are a fantastic way to add color to a build for the simple reason that there is no green flower. But leaves are practically a green flower that can be used in builds. And they come in handy quite often when you're trying to make something look natural. Obviously, I've tested around with this idea of leaves and flowers and what looks good, because I recently just did it in my Stranded series, which you should definitely go check out. So now that you have a perimeter, oh, by the way, there's going to be very few cuts because I'm kind of limited on time to record this episode. Now that you've done that, you want to if you've done leaves, you want to sort of add random blocks just to mix up the pattern. You don't want it to be just straight. So first, I would suggest going around and adding, not in a particular pattern like that, but just every now and again, add like a little bit sticking up. They could be connected. They could be, I would say, at a maximum 2 blocks apart. You probably want to stick to like groups, just 1 block apart. And basically just going around doing this. And then once you've done that, what you want to do is you want to kind of like put leaves around it, not all the way around. Just kind of make it look natural in a sense. And once you do that, I'm probably just going to show all of my techniques here. You might want to add some fences. Now I've seen this done. So like you don't want to put two fences next to each other, but you might just want to add like every now and again, just add like a little fence, just to make this look nicer. And just if you see any, a good method is if you see any spots, just place it. And if you don't want to place them next to each other because you get that awful connected texture. But just go around doing all of these techniques, and I will be back once I've personally finished doing this to show you what you probably want to do next. Okay, so as you can see, I've done all the surrounding walls. Normally I would suggest making this bigger than I did because there's some small spaces around these area. So I would suggest making the perimeter a bit bigger, but this is just like the overall shape. So now what you want to do, you can get rid of these. You want to start just creating little pockets of water, and I want to just putting them on different faces of the wall, just little small, like weird shaped pockets. They don't have to be in any specific order or fashion. Some could be longer, some could be shorter. Maybe put one right here in between two, and that can count as like two. I would suggest, now that it just passed my mind, I would suggest connecting them up, like having weird blocks, like having weird. And I definitely wouldn't suggest breaking any of that stuff, but having weird access blocks of water just looks a bit weird. Don't do it in like cramped spaces like here. You always want to have like one block, not there, like literally goes against what I was about to say, like one block space, and that should be it. Then you just want to go around all of those spaces and just fill them up with water. And this is just to add that nice dark blue texture to the build, and obviously later we're going to add a nice light blue kind of cyan texture or turquoise texture to the build in the form of the blue orchid. I can never remember that. But yeah, you just want to go around here, and then the flowers, like I said, are just for a pop of color, just to make it like pop. So next you want to take all these flowers that I've recommended, and then like every now and again, you want to just, with the big ones, I would suggest just going around using them very, very scarcely, probably a bit more scarcely than I've been using them, and then just do the next one. Try to place them a bit farther apart. Like I'm probably using the peony in more areas where I haven't used the other ones. And then you might want to go through with the other flowers, just put them down. Oh, and you might want to have access points in the actual house. I'll get to the interior in a later episode. But then you want to go around with the other flowers and pretty much just do the same thing. And then like once you do that, it just makes it look full of color. But it probably looks a bit dull because it's all like at the same elevation, and you don't want that. You just don't want that. It's too boring. And so once you get finished filling in all these flowers, what you want to do is you want to go around. I'm probably just going to tell you, then do it out of episode. Not out of episode, out of clip. You want to go around, bone meal everything, and make it so that the bone meal was very scarce. Like there's only grass in some areas. And then, okay, now I only have one more flower with. Just make so the grass is very scarce in some areas. Then you want to make some of the grass tall. And another thing that I suggest doing is to just go around, shear some grass, and then get the actual grass block. My voice is cracking, but get this block, and then get some bone meal. What you want to do, if you can hear my dog, he just came into the room. You want to do is just, oop, not there. You just want to place it every now and then. Just like place it in between the flowers. Probably just in between all of the flowers, to be completely honest. Like this is what I did in my Stranded series, and that garden ended up coming out very well. Although I did use stone slabs and glass panes, I didn't actually use I guess you could call these hedges. I guess they really are hedges. But if you put a lot of flowers in here, I would suggest just going around all the empty spaces, filling in grass. But if you don't have too many flowers, then just do it occasionally. Or you could just bone meal and take some of it off. It doesn't really matter. I just like this technique of doing it more. And now that I have done that, what you want to do is you just want to go around bone meal some of it just to get that just to make it feel wild and unnatural, just to give it that, and it just gives it this feel that it's just not natural. Like, it's a garden, like all of it is made. It's a garden that's been man-made, but it's just naturally has grown. And then you just get this really cool effect, and it just is so much more lush now. And in terms of the gardening, you could say that it's pretty much done. But one more thing that I would suggest doing is I would suggest creating like custom trees. Now, a way that I would do this is I'm probably going to cover a video on custom trees, like custom tree designs. So I'll put down an oak log. And these are like classic wide oak trees, although they do take up quite a bit of oak wood. And then you kind of just want to branch out, and these are like they're branches. They're branches branching out. That's funny. You just want to kind of like make these little branches coming out of them. Roots. That's the word I'm trying to think of. And just have them facing in random directions. Then I think this might be a little bit too thick. But then, sorry if you can hear my dog. After the last time that he came up in one of my videos and it just sounded really, really bad, I just feel the need to apologize. So you just want to have like a bunch of oak logs just going up like this. And then now you kind of have like the skeleton of it. So now you want to create random branches just going upwards, and then more random branches just going upwards. And then what you want to do after this is you want to just surround these random branches and leaves, like completely surround them till they have like a unique shape. Then what you might want to do if you want an extra tall tree is you might just want to make another layer of branches. And then that's basically it to making a custom-made tree. You might want to put a few of these around, but I'm probably only going to put one for the purpose of I am very limited on time with this video, and I just need to get this video finished. I'm not trying to rush anything. And then, well, I am trying to rush actually. Then you just want to make a little bit at the top, and there you go. There's a skeleton. So now what you want to do is you just want to put the leaves surrounding them, and I'll come back once I've done that just to show off what it should look like. Okay, everyone. So as you can see, I filled in all the leaves, and I failed to mention a couple of things about this tree. First of all, you don't want to just fill in all the spaces like next to the branches. Once you've done that, it does look a bit weird while building in the process, but the end product is quite nice. But once you have done that, you just want to kind of like beef it up with some more leaves and add some like leaf strings, I guess you could say, coming down. And then that's pretty much it. You have a custom-made tree. Now, it's not the best. I really haven't done this in a while, so like the branching was kind of off. So if you just make the branches just a little bit better, like the branches are what matters. Like every tree is different, and the branches depend on where the leaves are. So this is the end product. Yeah, if you'd like to see the house, the rustic style house or building, I said a rustic build in my title, but it's really intended to be a house. I didn't want to say it was a house, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to like build styles, and then if I ever do anything like gardening or interior, I'm going to take a build that I did from a style and just just add on to that. So this entire thing was 2 episodes of work, but anyways, that is going to be the end of this episode here. Also, I forgot to mention, add vines to the tree. Just add little bits coming down, because it just gives that an extra feeling of overgrownness. But anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed, and I especially hope that you'll come back for the next episode. Bye! That was a really weird outro. I don't know about you, though.